All right, so there are only a few ways that we can increase the revenue that we make per hour as drivers. The first is ride selection. So you got to learn how to be smart about accepting the rides that pay you the most per hour and declining the ones that don't pay you as well. The second thing you can do is work the bonuses and promotions that are being offered to you by both Uber and Lyft. Some bonuses are better than others. You want to work your schedule around the best bonuses so that you can maximize those bonuses. The third is tips. All right, we get to keep 100% of the tips. Recently, I did a study and I found that I'm getting 18% of what the customer pays or what I get paid in tips. So if I got paid $1,000 for the weekend, that means there's $180 in tips. Well, how do you get good tips? Well, one of the ways you can get good tips is to become a master driver. Now, after 29,000 trips, I consider myself a master driver. I don't want to be pretentious about it, but I know a thing or two about driving people around in my car after 29,000 trips, right? So what I'm going to do in this video is share with you 6 difficult driving situations and how I recommend you handle them. And by handling them well, you're going to actually start getting people commenting about what a good driver you are. Thanks for the smooth ride. Wow, you got me here quick. That was awesome. Nice car, nice music. You start to hear all these little bits of feedback. And that turns into money in your pocket in the terms of tips. All right? And stick around. At the end of the video, I'm going to share with you the biggest lesson I had to learn as a driver for Uber and Lyft. So all that and more coming up. Everybody, it's Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy, drinking a little coffee out of my Yeti mug, which my daughter made for me, which has my logo, my Nomad J logo right on it. It's really one of the coolest gifts I've ever received. All right, what you're looking at right now is how many rides I had as of last weekend. 29,241, 11,000 with... let's see, that's Uber, and almost 18,000 with Lyft. So every day teaches me something new. All right, this is a never-ending quest to become the perfect driver. But I have learned a few things that I can remember. So I'm going to jump into these 6 sort of difficult driving situations and share with you some thoughts that I have about them in ways that you can be better as a driver to earn more tips. So let's jump in with number 1. Number 1, driving in the rain. Driving in the rain. So the primary message with driving in the rain is slow down. Your passenger is a little bit more on alert when it's raining. They realize that driving in a car isn't as safe as when it's a bright, sunshiny day and, the roads are warm and the rubber is all gripping it. When it's raining, you can slide. So the number 1 rule with driving in the rain is slow the F down. Slow down. Think of yourself as if you were driving a boat, right? What's the first thing they tell you when you drive a boat? You got to prepare much quicker to make moves, right? You got to think way ahead. And that's how you want to be when you're driving in the rain. If you're going to be making a right-hand turn, you want to slow down way sooner than normal so that by the time you get to the turn, you're almost going like 5 to 10 miles an hour, real slow, so you can take it and not slide. The other thing is you want to accelerate slowly. There's nothing worse than having a passenger in your car and your wheels spin, right? It might be cool when you're a teenager to hear that squealing of your tires, but when you're in the rain driving for Uber or Lyft and you got a passenger in your car, no bueno, and that's an instant way to not get a tip, okay? And once that passenger feels like they're not in the hands of a master, you're not going to get a tip, okay? They're only going to give you a tip when everything goes right and they feel good about the experience that they just had. So when it comes to the rain, slow down. Number 2, freeway driving. So here's how I do the freeway driving. I get on, and as quickly as I can, I get over to the left-hand lane. That's the fast lane, right? You got a passenger in it, so even if it's a carpool lane, you're good. And I get to 80 miles an hour. So in California, 80 miles an hour is a fast speed, but it's a safe speed where you're not going to get a ticket. I tell you many, many times, I've driven, and there's the police officer, CHP. He's got his little radar thing, and I just zip by him at 80, and I'm good, okay? He's looking for the guys that are going 90, 100, and 110. And you see them sometimes, right? They're like, you're going 80, and they're like zooming past you. Those are the people that are speeding. Now, the reason I go all the way to the left, it's the fast lane for one, but it's also the safest lane because I don't have to worry about any cars on my left. I only have to worry about cars on my right. Whereas if you're in a middle lane, you got cars on both sides of you. So you eliminate half of the possibility of an accident because you only got to worry about cars on your right or in front of you. So then when I'm exactly a mile before my turnoff, that's when I tell myself I got to start moving over. Okay, a mile is plenty of time to get over, and that's just how I do it. So get over to the left lane, go the speed that you're comfortable but fast, and then when you're a mile from your turnoff, start to merge over and get off. And of course, if it's raining, you got to slow that down, right? You're not going to drive 80 if it's raining. You're going to slow it down to like 65, so you can anticipate any issues sooner. Okay, 3, speed bumps. Now, in my area of Sacramento, they're called speed bumps, speed humps, speed tables, speed undulations. There are signs for all of those signs here to describe where they raise the road a little bit so that you slow down. And that's the key message here again, is to slow down. I once had a guy in my car and I was like, a young driver, so to speak, and I hit that, he bounced, his head almost hit the ceiling, and he had a back problem, and he goes, oh, and I was like, oh man, I'm so sorry. And that taught me a valuable lesson. You want to hit those bumps super slow, and it should just be like just a little tiny undulation that the passenger feels. They don't expect you to go fast when you're in a neighborhood where they have the speed bumps, right? There's a fantastic scene from one of the Meet the Parents movies where both of the cars are lined up and they're both in a hurry, and the light turns green and they go fast, 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 and then it's a red light and they start skidding in. That's not what you want to be doing. You don't want to speed up and then slow down. You just want to take it nice and easy, right? You'll have time when you get on the freeway to go faster. But if there's speed bumps, slow down. It should just be a very gentle, right? And if the passenger feels like you're going over it fast, you're not gonna get the tips. Number 4 is school pickups. The message here is just, again, slow down, be very careful because kids can dart in and out, right? And you just have to have a lot of patience because it's not going to be a normal pickup. Usually you have to queue up and the cars go very slowly and then the kids get in and then you got to get out. So you got to exhibit patience when it comes to the school pickups. Number 5, grocery store pickups. So this could be a Walmart pickup, a Safeway pickup, a Raley's pickup, where you go and you find somebody who has just been shopping and they've got a shopping cart full of groceries. So this is probably one of my worst passengers. I don't like these types of passengers. I don't like that they never tip, which seems to always be the case. But what I do is I put on a happy face, I jump out of my car, I open the trunk, I help them put their stuff in because if I wait for them, they go very slow. And I just want to get them in and get them out. So I load it up, get them in the car, get to where we're going, and then I jump out again and I take them all out and I put them on the sidewalk or wherever we talk about where can I put them. And, if it's something heavy and it's like an older woman, which I had the other day, I said, look, I'll take this all the way to your porch, I don't know why these folks don't seem to tip, and they seem to assume that all of this extra carrying that we do is part of our, job. But I rarely get tipped from people when I pick them up at the grocery store. But I still give them the best service I can, and I think I justify it that I'm putting money in the karma bank, right? So I'm doing a good solid for somebody that'll come around and benefit me later in my life. Number 6, gated communities. So gated communities, there are a lot of those in Sacramento where you'll approach and you go, oh, it's a gated community. Immediately contact your passenger and ask them for the gate code so you can get in. You don't want to be sitting there and waiting or expecting them to walk to you because that just wastes a lot of time. Most passengers will give you the gate code before you arrive. Just a little hint is usually pound 6969 will work. So inside of these gated communities, there's always somebody who's fascinated with oral sex, and they're going to pick 6969 because that's going to be easy to remember. But you'd be surprised how many times I'm using the code 6969 and I get in. So you can go ahead and try that if you're waiting and you haven't gotten the code from your passenger, and a lot of times that will get you in as well. Here again, through a community like this, whether it's an apartment building complex or a home development, go slow. They have the gate there for a reason. They want you to go slow. So especially after you've picked up your passenger, go slow getting out of the community. You also a lot of times have speed bumps if it's an apartment complex. So you got a couple of different things trying to slow you down. Just get in the vibe of the place and slow down. Key takeaways. All right, so that's it. Those are 6 difficult driving situations. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that a key to my success is in between rides. So once I drop somebody off, I don't click, and I get out of there and I get moving towards my next destination. So the time you spend in between rides, if you can cut 2 minutes off of each of those, you're saving yourself a lot of time, which allows you to do more rides in a day. So once you drop somebody off, get out of there and get moving towards your next pickup right away. So that's something I wanted to mention to you as well. So I hope you found some value here. You might have heard just one thing that was new to you, or you might have heard several. I guess the number one message is slow down. When you get on the freeway, go fast. But otherwise, in most situations, slowing down is what you need to do. And you need to be a driver who's comfortable going slow, right? You're not impatient. Because that does lead to more tips where they feel they're in the hands of a master who's just cool as can be, done it all, seen it all, and that's when the tips start to roll in. All right. So thanks so much for watching. If you liked it, please smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, subscribe, join our team. We'd love to have you. Go out and have a great day. This is Jay Crater saying thank you for watching this. Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy. Go tell somebody you love them. That was always a good thing to do. We don't hear that enough. Be safe out there. Take care. Bye for now.